It is. We've got a lot of seniors
Right.
in the group right now. So I think ideally, with a couple of our linebackers, a couple of our defensive linemen, and possibly a couple of defensive backs, I say hopeful they're not starters. If they are starters, hopefully it's because they're beating out some good players. But there aren't too many guys who we're counting on to save our team next year. But they're really going to be important in our future. And we'll have the discussion down the road possibly about you're going to be a special teams guy, a backup guy, get your feet wet, and then we're going to have a lot of vacancies a year from now. I know that. So I think he'll be in the thick of things. And I think maybe all four of the linebackers we signed are going to have that opportunity.
Could you talk about C.J. Fedorowicz? You guys keeping after it with him and just and pulling him away from Illinois?
Yeah, it just we targeted C.J. a long time ago. I remember the first time Lester told me about him. Lester told me about him. And, I think he might have been a sophomore at that point also, and then we just kept an eye on him, and then made the offer to him. And we really felt like he connected well when he came on campus. And he was here several times prior to making a decision elsewhere. And I guess we just weren't convinced that in his heart that was going to be the best thing for him, and we certainly weren't convinced that it was the best thing for him either. So we stayed in contact, and when he reconsidered his options during the course of the season, we're thrilled that he came over for a ball game and came with his family. And I think he felt very comfortable with the school, with the community, and I think he also felt comfortable with his opportunities in our offense and maybe what he could do. We do play at tight ends, and he's certainly a tight end. We think he's a pretty good one. So I think that coupled with the fact that Tony's graduating, I think it was a good timing for us, and we're eager to get him here.
You talk about AJ's projection at the quarterback position, how you feel about that, what you've seen?
A year ago at this time, I would have probably told you, there was no question in our minds he was a tremendous football player, a tremendous athlete, kind of a Tim Tebow discussion, if you will. And that's really, how we envisioned him. And then I was actually at, this was in the summertime, he came over to a camp, one of our camps, I believe it was on a Tuesday morning, came over just for one session, and really impressed us with the progress and improvement that he had made. He clearly had been working on his footwork, throwing the football, that type of thing, and it was whatever that Tuesday would have been of our camp. And we were just all tremendously impressed, and after that, we thought, boy, this guy, he's got a lot of upside at quarterback. So I think we're getting a tremendous football player, a tremendous person. He's a winner, and on top of that, we think he's got a lot of upside at the quarterback position. If that doesn't work out down the road, there's probably a lot of things he could do, kind of like we talked about James Morris, or maybe go back to a guy like Greenway. Well, Greenway was a lousy quarterback, I'll go on the record there. Pretty good linebacker. But, that's our intent, is for him to play quarterback right now. We're really eager to see how he can progress and improve. And, if it means changing our style a little bit, that's fine. Down the road, we just think he's a guy that can win and lead the football team. So we were really impressed with what he did this past year.
What are your plans with Austin Peer?
He wants to start at quarterback. We're all for that. We'll let him have that opportunity. And if he can project there, that's great. If not, then we'll probably try another position. We're thinking about tight end possibly. So there's not a great hurry right there, a sense of urgency. We just, liked what we saw of him. Came to camp, really impressed us. Thought he did a lot of good things, and another guy that really did a good job of leading his football team.
With your depth of 8 running backs in scholarship now, I know that there's a lot to think of that, and you add 2 more. How do you see that shaking out? How do you see playing time go later?
I hope it becomes a problem. I'm trying to think of the last time it was. Maybe it was. You guys remember? You guys have a better memory than I do. But I can't remember us ever having too many good players at any one position. I certainly can't remember us having too many running backs. My memory is a little bit recent right now. I was just happy this past year to have 2 in one game. And it seems like that's kind of how it shook out years past. But I think we do have an opportunity right now to have a good group, and that's really important. Because it's, as you know, we like to play with balance. We like to have tight ends on the field more than occasionally. We like to run the football if we get that opportunity, and so I'm really pleased, and I think the guys that we have complement what we needed. Certainly Marcus is a bigger back, a stronger back. We haven't had a lot of guys like that. I think Sean speaks for himself there, his performance, what he did, I think that's all recent memory. Liddell Betts was a very physical runner, but outside of that, we've had a little different style. And then DeAndre Johnson's a guy that we really liked coming out of his junior year. Unfortunately, was injured this year, and if he's not ready to go full speed in August, there was no sense of urgency for us. I think we've got enough depth right now, and but we'll let that play itself out. But we're really pleased about both these guys. And he's a strong player too. He's not as big, but he's a strong football player as well. Shot put champion, which is kind of interesting. Haven't heard of that too often, but interesting prospect.